Hello, earthmanbrick here, and Poppy as well, because she wouldn't stop jumping around, but if I keep her in a bag, she's usually quite chill, so I'll just keep her there. Now, when it comes to Necromunda, seems and sci-fi builds and Warhammer 40,000, all that sort of chicanery, seems a lot of people are spending hand over fist on a whole bunch of terrain and I just think it's ridiculously expensive right now, and I don't see the need for it. So I want to show folks how they can cut a few corners like I've done here. Now on this build, you can see we've used some panels here and here, and those are remolds of old GW stuff. Mainly they're old original pallets, you can see it here, and ammo box lids, which you can see here and here. And this is all part of an old sprue that they used to do. Really good quality stuff, and it's so easy to make a flat mold of these things and then just cast and repeat. So that's the easy way to do it, is just to make a mold, rinse and repeat, and then just stick them onto your original crafts and builds. Oh, and there goes Poppy. Bloody hell. Come on, Poppy. Less chaos, more calm. Into the bag. Yes. Into your prison. I meant safe space. Yes, safe space. There you go. Are you going to be chill? Are you going to behave? Good. So yes, I figured I'd show you how I've made a few. Now I've got some materials here. This is mosquito netting. Now this is made of a fiberglass mesh, and as you can see, these holes are quite small, and this is great for floor grating. And there goes Poppy again. Oh. Nope, she's ran off. Right, get rid of that. So yes, mosquito netting. You can get a massive sheet of this stuff for like a tenner. Really cheap, and that's like a lifetime supply there. And then what I've done is I've backed it onto some old card. You can see some old card packaging. And I've cut out some strips of card, and some of these are kind of the off-cut bits that I've put it on, and others are just complete. And then once these are cast, you can see it makes some quite nice panels. So yes, that's great for if you want to do easy floor grating. So if you want to go for a nice looking Space Hulk, that's a easy enough way to do it. What else? Cable ties. These are the gift that keeps on giving. What I plan to do with this is I want to cut it up into many pieces and then make and I'll glue it onto a piece of card, make a mold of it, and then it'll be, because I'm going to cut these up in a certain way, similar to what we've done for our hazard strips in the past. Whereas this, when we made these, we used the reverse side, which is the clear side, but the other side, which has the teeth on it, that's the side we'll be using this time around. And just to show an example here, there's the original that we made, and there's the casting. So we'll be actually using some of these as well, and you can see the previous video on that, although it's not that complex. But watch it anyway, because the views help. And what we'll be doing is we'll be backing all these panels onto a piece of MDF. This is just a random sheet here. What I'll be doing is I'll just be getting some snips, and I'll be cutting off these excess trims here. And then I'll use this as a backing sheet. Hello there, it is I'm back. It's earthmanbrick, and we've made up our little tiles here. You can see, you already saw those, but this is the castings of those ones we've made. I've got oodles and canoodles because I've been a busy man making up quite a fair amount of them. It goes to one side, and using a combination of those, these are hazard strips, as well as a whole host of cable ties. We've made our first board, and this is backed onto a piece of MDF, and yeah, I like to think it more or less works relatively well enough to pass on the table. So I'll just put that there. Bam! As nice as it is to have all these doors and everything else, it doesn't kind of work until you add walls. And the walls that we're going to be making are going to be made up of all the old empty sprue frames. So remember when I told you not to chuck these whenever I do an MDF kit? There's good reason for that. And that is, and this is the beauty of it, is that we don't need to do measuring. So we just take the whole bottom arch bit here, and that becomes our width. And then we just pile it one on top of the other. That's from a different set, so we stick to ones that are from the relatively same sets. And we glue those together and we cut it about there, adhere them on, and then once you've got about 5 or 6 layers, it should be able to stand pretty well on its own, upside or downside. And then we leave most of these gaps because we filled up these gaps with other offcuts, rhinestone gems, wires, all sorts of little intricate workings. And we can even reuse some of these and stick these to the wall sections as well, and then decorate it up until we get something that looks akin to this. So you can see that's them there, unpainted, and these are pretty sturdy. They stand on their own pretty nicely without any issues. Hello, Poppy. You come to spy on me working again? Well, you're too late, because I finished. And there we go. There's the end result. So, the door here, these are from Necromunda. I've got a few all kicking about. These are just molded from those. You can see I've actually used sheets of paper there just to temporarily hold them together. And yeah, these will be glued back to back at some point. But you know what? As much as I love these doors, and they are great, I'm going to try scratch building my own. Oh, bye, Poppy. Anyway, a few more layers of sprue, and here's the other walls. So as you can see, we've used beads, cable ties, actual cables running in and through. And yes, I've added various bits of silver, and it's all just a kind of mishmash of colours to give it that kind of worn aesthetic. Yes, a few little rhinestones here and there. I think it's a case of less is more when it comes to a lot of that sort of thing. Yes, I've forgotten to paint the warning stripes there. But you know what? Looks good enough. And there's our other kind of wall segment there. It's kind of good enough. That's a big bit of cable. That's actually just some straws there. Looks pipey enough. I'm gonna have to weather that little rhinestone there because it looks a little too clean for my liking. Of course, it's double-sided, so we've got the other side there. Still need to do a bit of work on that, but you get the general idea and the gist. So with all these old MDF empty sprue frames, you can do quite a bit with them. Same with old cable tie offcuts. the old Vids. Beads as well. Once you paint them up, they look very greebly. And of course we've got these board panels as well, and that's just cable ties. There's warning chevrons there, or hazard strips, and of course those panels as well. And this is the first of the boards that I'm going to make. I'm going to make a fair few different ones that I'll be able to use interchangeably for cyberpunk games, for modern warfare sort of kind of affairs, as well as much of sci-fi kind of games. And I'm really looking forward to sci-fi gaming, because this will be perfect as a ruined space Hulk, I can imagine. And yes, I've only really bothered with 2 or 3 walls, because that's kind of all you need for if you want to do a dramatic kind of picture. You just have a few little bits and pieces here and there, and then you have the figures all kind of spread about. I don't think I've got any on hand. There's a couple of ones I've scratch built there. So you can see it, got the machine guns and helmets and everything. Yeah, they kind of fit the part. But hopefully this will give you a few ideas as to how you can make your own, and if you come up with any new ideas or additions you'd like to see. And if you want to see the scratch built doors, let me know in the comments below. But that's all I've got for you today, so bugger off! Good riddance! Bye!